Hey guys, hope you are doing phenomenal. So very quick video, and I did say I will keep it completely open and transparent with you with regards to my development project. So some of you know I purchased a commercial property in March, so it was the 6th of March, and I was really excited. In fact, I've been planning to purchase this property for quite some time. I had great plans. Again, I don't know why I say I had great plans. It sounds like I've given up. I had and have great plans to develop this into residential units. Now, some of you know this is my first big project, so I've done refurbishments before, but this is an entire conversion. Now, there are one or two things I wanted you guys to understand as to why there's so much fear and anxiety on this specific project. Look, I don't say it like I know everything. I'm no special commercial conversion guru. I'm learning, and I think I jumped before I could walk on this specific one, which is why I'm taking my time to kind of piece together and to learn certain things in order to make sure I get this correct. Now, number one, I've made up my mind now. I would never in my life ever purchase a listed building ever again. That's one thing I stand by. I don't care how juicy the deal is. I don't care how amazing it is. I will never ever purchase a listed building again. One of the main reasons for that is because of the conditions that are associated with the conversion or the build work. In fact, if I could find it, I'll be able to read you some of the communication I've been having with my architect with regards to moving forward. Okay, so there are a bunch of conditions that need to be fulfilled. Most of these issues are because of the heritage of the building. Most of these issues are because it's a listed building, they care about it, it's in a conservation area. So there are certain things that need to be done in order to fulfill the criteria. Now, I had a conversation with my architect, and his response added more fear just in general. So this was his response. I'm going to read it out. It says, "This is a complex project." Yes, I know. "And we feel it would be preferable for you to appoint a conservation specialist who can project manage this work to coordinate input from other professionals. The reason that we say that is because the council are particularly concerned about the impact of this work to the historic building, and that they require the works to be carried out in accordance with an overall conservation plan. They require this to be undertaken by an appropriate conservation specialist approved by the council." Now, this part is what kind of threw me off a little bit. It said, "I apologize for delay in responding to the following email regarding the grant and the planning permission being granted. But we have not previously encountered such onerous conditions when working on a modest listed building." Now, that's not what I wanted to hear. I've known, of course, there were going to be issues. I've known that this was a project that's absolutely massive. But hearing that from the architect, it's kind of just been a punch in the face to say, yo, you got to think twice on this, and maybe it's a project currently too big for where you are at the moment. But there are some solutions. So again, as I said, these are the things that are slowing me down. These are the things that I'm trying to overcome. These are the things I'm trying to work on. So again, if you are getting yourself into the development space, I think it requires a certain level of, what's the word? Yeah, you know, it requires a certain level of something. You guys can read in between the lines there. Which I'm not sure at this specific moment I have. It's quite hard having to admit it, but this project is quite scary, and most of you would have read this book by Susan Jeffers that says, feel the fear and do it anyway. But in this case, the fear is in the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds. So again, I've got to be a bit more cautious. Number two, the conditions are really tough. Let me read something else as well that really just grinded my gears. It says, it is also necessary to employ a specialist mechanical/ventilation engineer to design the ventilation to comply with the conditions to meet the air quality requirements, because it's near a busy road. So again, these are the things that you've got to know. You've got to know what the heck you are doing, because number one, these things are never going to end up being what you think they're going to cost. It's always going to cost significantly more. So some of the things I'm considering at this specific moment is maybe taking on a project manager. I've spoken to a few people. The cost so far has been around £22,000 to £23,000 ex-VAT for a project manager to take on the entire thing, fulfill all the conditions and criterias, and manage the build work and get it up to design and development stage. So that's something I'm considering. One of the things that's gone through my mind recently, and it's quite a shame because I feel like I'm chickening out and I'm trying to run away, but hey, sometimes you've got to run. I'm considering putting the property up for auction. Now that's something I've got to consider. I've got to speak to a few auction houses and see what it's like at the moment. I intend to keep one of the premises, which currently pays me an income every single month, and just title split and sell off one part and then retain the second building in the deal as well. The other thing I'm thinking about is just taking my time on it. This property was purchased with cash. It generates an income from next door. So again, I can't actually sit on this until I get a bit more confident, until I get a bit more comfortable to actually carry out the build work. I know most property investors or most property professionals wouldn't advise it because I'm losing money by leaving the building essentially empty and not generating an income. But at this moment, I do want to develop it. But right now, I'm still pooing my pants. The other thing I'm considering is converting it back into offices. So it was originally offices, planning permission's been granted to change it into residential and to develop some units on there. But I'm thinking, depending on the state of the market, the commercial offices and shared spaces going forward, that might be an option. So I am considering spending a bit of money, getting it up to a shared office space level, and then renting it out in the meantime as offices. So again, still a number of things to think about. But as I said, guys, I did promise I would keep you up to date. I don't want to get you guys all excited, expecting me to develop this tomorrow. But again, I'm still working on it. But yeah, guys, as I said, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the other video. Peace.